Morning, Stampers. Hello, welcome to the LovenStamps studio. You're watching Make Our Mornings with Meg. And today's project is feeling just a little bit Christmassy. So I don't know about where you are, but it's really gotten cold here. Like for us, cold. I know other people have way colder than we are, but cold for us. And so I've got my like warm gear on, and we're pulling out something fun and holiday-ish to help get ready. So we are using the Sweetest Star stamp set, which is on the last chance supply list, and I just realized I didn't grab it. The coordinating Sweetest Star Punch. So I like to call this Sweetest Santa, but when you're looking for it in the list, it's going to be Sweetest Star, so don't confuse about that or you won't find it. It is on last chance, like I said, and so it's while supplies last, and it's discounted right now, so really good deal. The Sweetest Star stamp set, or punch, is actually currently unavailable, but it is returning. So this is going away, limited time. This will continue to be available once it is back in stock. So watch for it to come. Get this now, add this later. You'll be in good shape. Morning, Tanya. We also are using our deckled rectangles today for the perfect banner. I have some tips for you that are very important so you do not ruin your dies. And I have a project part that is going to feature the alphabet a la mode dies. So if you haven't seen these before, they're kind of a sleeper. They've been around for a while. I've used them a couple times. But today I'm going to show you how to make puffy letters. So if anyone is like getting, retro 80s vibes from that, I'm right there with you, all about the puffy letters. So with all of that, morning, Sue, let's switch down our camera here and get started. So you'll see loads of fun supplies on today's docket, but let's go ahead and talk about those deckled rectangles first, because I'm going to show you our banner pieces. And I actually have our banner pieces cut already from the Deckled Rectangle Dies and the Take a Bow DSP, which is linked in the video description or the comments, depending where you're watching. And so basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut ourselves a rectangle to start for our little 3-panel banner piece. So we're going to cut a rectangle, and then, because I've already done this, we're going to pretend, well, you know what, actually, we're going to cut the rectangle because I really don't want you to miss out on the part where we're going to keep your dies from getting ruined, okay? So I'm just going to go ahead and cut this. All right, so rectangle, you guys probably know with big dies like this, with a lot of straight edges, I like to cut them a little bit on diagonal just so that you can get a better cut on the first time through. And if you haven't heard that explanation from me, I just did it the other day when we used a big long die. I don't remember which one that was, but just talked about it the other day. So it's not, that one's not a huge deal. It's not a life or death on the life of dies thing, but this next tip is, okay? So we have our banner here, and we want to go from that to this with a cute little flag at the bottom. And you guys, if you've seen me, I'm cutting just all the time. Because I make a ton of banners, and they generally, it's like muscle memory to get it about right. But this is the tip for getting your banners straight. So let's pretend this is my die cut platform. It is. And it's going to go through the die cut machine, and I want to add this fun shape at the bottom. So what is wrong with this picture right now? This is going to ruin my die, okay? So if I run this through like this, I put my other die plate on top, and I have my die sticking out right here. When this goes through, it's going to hit the side of my die cut machine, and it's going to ruin this die. It will no longer be a rectangle. It will no longer be flat. It will no longer do what I want it to do, okay? So you cannot have the die stick out the side like this. Out the back, out the front, no problem, but not on the side because it hits the platform. So what we need to do instead to save your dies is slide this over and just look at where this die is hitting, okay? You could also, you could turn this a little bit and get your piece on there. But basically what you want to do is you want to cut out that little rectangle, triangle there, shapes, at the bottom. But you have to have your die inside the boundaries of your platform, okay? So if you get nothing else out of today's video, this is what I want you to take home. Do not have your die pop out the sides or you will bend it and mess it up when you go through, okay? All right, but that being said, the Deckled Rectangle dies are currently like about 50% off. They're like 45% off or something like that. They're $18 instead of $30. So if you don't have these dies and you like this idea of making little banners, they also make great card layers. The link is in the video description for these, and you won't want to miss them because they are while supplies last. So, all right, good morning. Hey, Joan and Bonnie and Kim and Becky. Oh yeah, it's pretty cold there in Pennsylvania too. And hi, Enika. I realize I have no idea what your weather's like in the Netherlands right now, Enika. Cold, I'm guessing, but I'm not sure how cold. So, all right, so we have our 3 banner pieces, and we're gonna go ahead and lay these out. Okay, so this is gonna be the basis of our banner, and then we are going to add our Sweetest Star elements to each one. So when I do a banner like this, I like to kind of use different pieces and feature different things. We are going to go ahead and stamp. We're gonna stamp our Santa friend here, and let's see, I'm gonna flip him over the block, and I'm gonna stamp in Memento Black, which is our water-based ink, so that I can go over it with our alcohol-based Stampin Blends markers, okay? We would also stamp Mrs. Claus. We're gonna use her too, but spoiler alert, I have her colored already, so. All right, oh yeah, I'm glad you like that tip, Tanya. Okay, so let's pop in here and visit our Santa friend. Now, if you haven't used Stampin Blends markers for a while, or you find them kind of intimidating, this is your message from me to not be intimidated. They are just a lot of fun to work with. And to make it easy for you, they come in pairs. So there's a light and a dark. And when I color with Stampin Blends, I almost always begin by adding a coat of the light across our whole area to be colored. So if you were doing watercoloring, you know, with watercolor paper and water and inks and so forth, this is similar to like wetting your paper down before you start coloring. So essentially we are wetting our paper down with our Stampin Blends light colored marker. And I like to do even coat and just a light business here and kind of in the line with the item to be colored. So like if I was coloring a leaf, I would do sort of in the direction the leaf grows, as opposed to, you know, just like random hash coloring. So, all right, Santa, he's pretty friendly either way. And he's going to need a red hat, and he's also going to need a little red nose, right? Because that's what Santa has. All right, now I have my light color on there. So what I'm gonna do is go back with our dark marker, and I'm gonna add some shading. And where is gonna be shaded? Well, the area around his beard is gonna get a line of dark, that's shading. And this is one of the stamps, it doesn't have like color here lines, as I like to call them. So I'm gonna imagine if this was a shaped object, where would extra shadows be? They would be in this little fold here, kind of under his armpit, not sweat stains, just like shadows from the shape of his Santa belly. And then maybe under his belt, there would be some, okay, so that seems pretty good. And now what I'm gonna do, so it looks a little bit abrupt between the dark and the light colors there. So now what I'm gonna do is go back with my light marker again, and I'm gonna add a little bit more coloring at the intersection between our light and our dark. And what that's gonna do is it's going to smush that pigment around. So with Stampin Blends markers, the the solvent inside them is alcohol. And so the alcohol is what is picking up the color and transferring that pigment around or spreading it around in the paper. So that's why when you look at the back of a Stampin Blends colored item, so there's our shading there, you're gonna see that it's saturated the paper. That's because that alcohol is really causing that color to flow in there, so. All right, I have these tiny little mittens here that I'm gonna do in our green here, and let's see. Granny Apple Green is a great color for this. I think this one's actually a retired one that I grabbed accidentally, but you get the idea. And then we have our Bronze and Ivory pair, which come and are great for blending all kinds of skin tones. So we're gonna put these in here. You could make a customized color to whatever you like. And then this looks really unfinished to me because his belt is not done. So I'm gonna take our black here, and I'm going to go ahead and color our black here. And the black, I find, unless you're coloring a big space with lots of opportunity for shading, I find that this one is light and dark don't really matter so much. So I'm just gonna go here with the dark and color this, and then the center. And then I think our buckle needs a little bit of color here. So I'm going to go ahead and add, probably should use a bullet tip, our yellow here for our buckle. Okay, so he is now all set. Kind of a fun guy. Oh, Inika says it's raining and windy, 7 degrees above zero. That sounds really vaguely not the greatest temperatures to be outside in. Good thing to be inside and crafting. So, all right. So now what we're gonna do? We got to give Santa a little. I'm gonna give him a little bit of rosy cheek. So there and there. And now we're going to go ahead and punch him. So our punch is coordinating for these stamped images. We have Santa, we have Mrs. Claus, and we have this fun cookie. And so I'm gonna go ahead and punch him. But honestly, when I first saw this Sweetest Star Punch and bundle, I really thought banner right away. So you could either use these little images and you could string them together. Here I have Mrs. Claus also colored there. So you could string them together to make a fun banner. You could fold them or put them like back to back to make some ornaments, put like a little ribbon in between there and have this be like a little hanging ornament. But we're going to mount them here on our larger banner piece. So let's talk about that. I'm gonna zoom you out a little bit. Like I said, I like to kind of put one element per banner. So we're gonna have sort of a main element and then a feature at the end. And for our feature, I really like this May Our Days Be Merry and Greeting. And it is sized to also fit on, no surprise there, a similar size paper. And so I'm gonna go ahead and stamp this here on a piece of crumb cake just to give us a little bit of different look to our banner. And I'll show you, we're gonna bring this crumb cake color into our design again with our ribbon. So this is the polka dot trim here. And this is also linked in the video description, but it is nice to coordinate here with our crumb cake. So we're gonna repeat colors because repeating colors in a project helps them to really look like they're finished and that they are meant to go together. So we have our pieces here. Now, 3 letters for Christmas. What should I put on these? Always the word joy comes to mind. Oh, Alice says she loves the deckled dies. Yeah, circles and rectangles both on going away list, so don't miss those. But for the letters of these, the perfect size to go along with our Star Punch is the a la mode dies. And so I have J, O, and Y that we are going to pop out of here, I think. Let's see, here's O, here's J, here's Y. This is a different technique, but you can sometimes tape, you have cool techniques you can do by taping the dies together and then cutting them all at once, and you can do holes and things. Anyway, it's pretty cool. But we're gonna just use these, and we're gonna die cut them from red here. So real red cardstock to match our other elements. And we want them to be puffy. So how do we make these puffy and also sticky at the same time? We use our foam adhesive sheet. And what these are, there are, I think there's 5 or 6 sheets in a package. Let's see, 6 sheets in a package. And basically what this is it's a dimensional sheet that just hasn't been chopped into little hexagons. So we have a double stick foam with backing paper on both sides and then that nice Stampin' Up! Dimensional foam in between. So how are we gonna cut through this? What we're gonna do is we are going to cut a piece of our foam here. And I want it to be big enough for our dies, but like not so big that I'm wasting a lot of it. So we've got this. And because it's adhesive backed, it doesn't really matter which side you peel off, but I'm gonna go ahead and pop this here on the end of our paper. Okay, so now we have real red cardstock with a foam on the back. Now I'm gonna take my letters and pop them on here. where they belong. And then you guys know me and washi tape. I'm going to take my washi tape and run this across here. Now, I don't really care if they shift, but I don't want them to run over each other, and I want to make sure that they stay on the foam. So when you cut these out, you are going to go ahead and run these through your die cut machine back and forth a few times. So back, forth, back, forth, back, forth, because what you want to do is you want to make sure that they are really, really thoroughly cut. So to check that, I always look at the back side, make sure I can clearly see the cut all the way through the foam, and then have these set to go. Now, when I first looked at this, I was like kind of unbelieving, I guess. I thought it was kind of suspicious. I didn't think it was going to cut through, but it really does. You just need to run it through a few times. Sometimes I'll also take my plates, and if I run it through like this, then the next time I might turn it and run it through like this. And that's just to hit those rollers that are in the die cut machine in just a slightly different angle, a different place, so that it's cutting, pressure is moving around just a little bit. So, all right, through the magic of television, we have J and Y and O, and these are peeled already on the back. A lot of times with these thin letters, they kind of peel themselves, and so I've just stuck them on a piece of dimensional backing to be handy for when I want them. All right, so now you can guess probably that putting this J on here is not going to show up, and since I'm really big on creating focal points that are very visible, this is where our glimmer paper comes in. Oh, Inika says she's upstairs in her craft room making birthday cards. Wow, for birthdays in January, you're on top of things. Good job. All right, so we're going to go ahead and punch 3 of our stars here. So I've got these ready to go. And these are going to be sort of the home base for our letters on our banner. So let's go ahead and pop our J on here. We have our O banner here, and we have our Y, popping on here, okay? All right, so those are much more visible now, right? So that letter, I wouldn't want to get lost on such a busy background. I really like that they have this extra home, but I also kind of feel like they could stand out a little bit more. So when trying to stand out more, a good strategy is always to layer again. So let's take some of our real red stars here and pop these behind. So watch what happens, especially like on this Santa banner. So here's our banner, but when I pop this red behind here just a little bit, do you see how it makes everything stand out? The berries jump out, Santa jumps out, our letter jumps out. Let's try it without. So here's without, here is with. And this is the beauty of why Stampin' Up! Products are so great. Because you get everything in coordinating colors so that all the pieces come together, and it really helps to reinforce the colors and the visuals that go along with them. So I adore that the DSP and the ink and the markers and all of the things are coordinating colors together. So I don't know, maybe that's what you guys like too. I hope so. I hope that you appreciate how great that is. Honestly, before I started, this has been like almost 25 years now, but before I started doing Stampin' Up! Stuff, I was constantly, reds were like my nemesis. Like I tried not to use them pretty much because I found that it was too hard to get them to coordinate. So, all right, then we're gonna go ahead and glue these on with a bit of our multi-purpose liquid glue and add our pieces here. And then I'm gonna show you how we're gonna string these, and just one more extra little embellishment here to go on our banner, because it's kind of fun. Like you can do as, you know, this isn't a card that you're mailing. You can make these as dimensional as you like. Oh yeah, Tanya says the red makes such a difference, right? I think so too. All right, and then I'm gonna vary the height of our Santa here. I think I'm gonna move him up a little bit so that they're not like, these two aren't straight in a row. Although it's gonna hang kind of in an arc, so it's not a huge deal. All right, remember to tap your glue down or use glue that has glue in it. And let's go ahead here. And then the last thing is to add our little Merry Days here. So I'm gonna pop this on. You notice I'm putting my dimensional on the banner, not on here, because I don't want my dimensional to like be out on the edge and then overlap or anything. So, and this is kind of like the little afterthought. So I'm gonna put that down at the bottom. All right, now I want to add another little element, and that is going to be with our red and white baker's twine. This stuff is really cute, and in our effort of cuteness, sometimes cute means little tiny. So I'm going to actually just use this one time. So I'm going to make a loop. I'm going to wrap around, and I'm going to bring my end of my bow back through that little same hole. So if you don't know how to tie a bow, I call it tying a bow on nothing. So it's just the bow part, not the like wrapping around part. You can rewind and watch that little part again here once our live is done. Okay, so now I'm gonna get those ends settled down, and then the last thing I'm gonna do is take a little mini glue dot. And I actually haven't gotten glue dots for a while because I kind of stockpiled them sometime in the past. So somebody told me that they actually peel a little bit differently now. But so however they peel, you're going to make a little burrito roll from your glue dot and add that on there. So now we have our fun banner pieces, and I'm going to grab some clips. These are actually from a past Stampin' Up kit. It was from like an advent calendar kit, and I didn't use it as an advent calendar. I cut up all the pieces and used them separately. So I ended up with all these clips left over, and I just adore them. So, all right, let's find the center of our ribbon, make your life a little easier, and pop this on here with a clip. And then I'm gonna space this one out just a tiny bit, and space this one to the next side just a little bit. And this is a kind of really simple, really quick home decor thing that you could make as a hostess gift. You could have it hanging in your own home. You could have it like in your office, like on your desk or your cubicle or whatever. Lots of fun possibilities for different places to put this little sweet banner. So, but the Sweetest Star stamp set is a great one for this. And like I said, it is about to go away as part of the last chance product list, as are the Deckled Rectangles, which you will use over and over again, especially now that you know our trick on how to protect these and not ruin them. So if you missed that part of the video, you're definitely gonna wanna go back and listen to how to take care of these so they don't get ruined. Oh, Sue says that she thinks she needs the alphabet dies. Yeah, they're super handy. I pull them out all the time for cards. Sometimes if you have like an occasion that you don't have exactly what you need for, you can, put someone's name on a card. You can, highlight something special. You could do like school names for grads. You can do all kinds of fun things with these. Otherwise, words like great or joy or whatnot are really handy. So, and I didn't realize this, but there are multiples of some of the letters in here. Wow. And all the numbers. Let me show you the back there. So when you're doing a birthday card for someone who's turning a big number, you can put the number right on it because everyone loves that, right? There also are these fun characters which go to other languages, as say city and so forth. And then, lots of possibilities. But it is really nice too when you want to do something that's going to be continuous, that there's a couple A's and there's a couple E's and so forth. So you can cut those all at once rather than having to cut multiple runs through to get the same letters, okay? So yeah, alphabet a la mode. If you're looking for a Christmas present for yourself, this is a great one. So link is in the video description or the comments for that. Let's see, what else do I have to show you? I think, Sue says a kid's name. Inika says she loves this banner. Thanks, Inika. Joan says very cute. Lots of good thoughts on these. So they are really quick to color, and coloring with Stampin Blends is something that I love to do when I'm kind of, vegged out in front of the TV. And then I often feel like I just, kind of collect the pieces that I've been coloring, leave them in my stamp case. And then it's like such a treat when I'm like, oh, I should make something with that. And I open it up and I'm like, look, I've got a Santa already colored. It's like Christmas in a box. So treat yourself and make some of those ahead so that you have them ready to go. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed some of the tricks I shared today. And I have a treat for you. Merry Christmas to you. So if you want to get today's project as a downloadable PDF tutorial, I have it linked in the video description here at the moment, or you can pop over to my LovenStamps website later today and it's happy pre-Friday to you, which reminds me I have some mailbag cards, and you can get it from my LovenStamps blog from today's blog post if you'd like to get the downloadable PDF for today's file. I know sometimes I like to download those kinds of things and print them out, just keep them in a file or keep them on my computer or my phone, just for when I'm feeling like I don't know what I want to make today, and I can just flip through those tutorials. So LovenStamps tutorials are a big part of what I offer to my stampers when you place online orders. You each month get a set of 4 projects as a downloadable PDF featuring whatever that month's treat is, whatever that month's stamp and die and paper and so forth feature are. So this month is Happy Hibiscus, so you'll get those if you place an order. But today in this fun Santa banner, this is my free thank you for being a part of our Maker Mornings with Meg community download. So you can get this one to add to your own collection. So, all right, guys. I promised you some mailbag. Let me grab these. And I have just a couple cards to share with you. Coming back here. So this one is from my friend Linda, and she used the Sentimental Christmas stamps and paper and the plaid background. Isn't that fun? So she embossed the front of the card. And I love how she stamped on the paper. So clever. Sometimes I forget to do that. So really pretty. And all of these pieces, the Sentimental Christmas and so forth, these are going away as part of the Last Chance product list. So you better check that. Joan said, is the alphabet on the Last Chance list? I didn't think so, but let me go look. It might be. If it is not on the Last Chance list. Nope. So you're safe there. Whew, good question. Okay, so there is Linda's card. This next one, which I just threw on the floor accidentally, is from my friend Kim, and it's a beautiful card featuring online exclusives from the reds and greens, or reds and pinks. I can't remember the name of this suite. Someone maybe will pop it in the comments, but a really pretty way to use this. And I like this little fold. So she used a layer of designer series paper and then just cut it up the middle and folded each corner back. So it's like a little bow tie kind of thing with a place to put your greeting in the middle. So, and then these little gold hearts are part of that suite. And then a really fun card from Kelly. And this is Kelly's Christmas with the greenery. I adore this suite. So these are die cut pieces here. The branch here, and then we have this pretty bell and some elements. And it looks like she used, I don't know, Kelly, maybe you can leave a comment if you happen to see this. But it looks like she used the little effects things. What are those called? It's the stuff that comes in the tube to add the little red dots on those. Those are really darling. But a really pretty card and kind of like a fun fold here. And she says happy pre-everything. Kelly's the person who started off our pre-Friday treat, our pre-Friday greeting here. So when I see you on Thursdays, I always wish you a happy pre-Friday, and we have Kelly to thank for that. So as today is Thursday, I wish you a happy pre-Friday and a really wonderful weekend. We are going to Christmas concert celebrations. 'Tis the season. So I hope you guys have some fun festivities in your calendar for this upcoming weekend and a chance to do some crafting. Who knows, maybe you'll even make a little banner to take someplace. So happy Stampin', everyone. Thanks for joining today. So good to see you. So good to see you live, everybody. Kim. And I will catch you on Tuesday with another episode of Maker Mornings with Meg. Thanks, everybody. Take care.